What's up, beautiful people? Welcome to another video. First and foremost, we are now over 70,000 people on the channel, so thank you so much for sharing all the love and letting me bore you for the last 4 or 5 years. Let's get right to it with talking about 1891 Morgan silver dollars, a little bit about all Morgan silver dollars if you're into that. They are the bee's knees. They're considered one of the most beautiful coins ever minted. So next to Nova Constellatio coins, I really like these coins a lot. I picked this 1891 O Morgan silver dollar up, which is a nice little EF40 from ICG for under $100. So let's talk about values of them, what values you should look for in your Morgan silver dollars, specifically these 1891s, but Morgan silver dollars in general. So let's get right to it. Talking about Morgan silver dollar values, some info to them, and what to look for. Let's check it out. Really beautiful coin. So let's talk about Morgan silver dollars. What are they worth? Well, the 1891, what is it worth? How rare are they? And a little info on them. So if you ever come across a Morgan silver dollar, which is considered one of the most beautiful coins ever made, then you'll kind of know some info on it. Now, 1891 O's are not the rarest Morgan silver dollars by any means. 1901 S's are probably the most rare coins in the series. And 1891 O silver dollars are actually considered one of the ugliest due to being poorly struck. So a majority of them have a lot of things up with them. Most notably, they were just pancaked out when they were made, and so it makes the coin much more flat than other ones in the series. An interesting fact, kind of a numismatic fact about the coins, is they're actually comprised of 3 different types of silver. So these were silver deposits that were acquired through basically legislation, the 1878 Bland-Allison Act, the 1890 Sherman Act, and the 1891 Trade Dollar Recoinage Act, which basically was like, send us in your money, we're going to melt it down and make more money. So these coins specifically are made from 3 different hoards of silver due to those acts, where I believe they received something like enough silver to make like 3.5 million of these out of the 7.9 that were minted. Now, 1891 O's, they receive little publicity because, again, they usually have a low aesthetic please to them, as well as they're poorly struck usually. Mint state coins have always been available on the market, but they're pretty low priced comparatively, so you can get mint state coins in the hundreds of dollars instead of thousands. And this indicates that occasionally big old bags of them came out of some of these hoards that have been seen. Most notably in the 40s, 46 and 47, there was a ton of 1891 O's that came out, which really fluctuated the market. Now, in mint state grades, the 1891 O is pretty common in lower mint state levels like MS60 through 62. Usually you can see, if you look at like production sheets or grading statistics, there's like 35,000 of them out there. In MS63, they get a bit harder to find. And then when you get to MS65 and 64 and 65, there's only a few hundred of them that exist, and they get really rare. So if your Morgan silver dollar ends up coming back from grade at one of those, you're talking a couple $1,000s, if not more. The 1891 O is also one of the Morgan dollar varieties that has a huge difference in the price between MS60 and 65. 65s are thousands of dollars. MS60 you can get for a couple $100, or well, a few $100s. And the striking quality of 1891 O dollars is on average really poor. Now this one being in EF40 from ICG, which is similar to XF. You can tell this one's got some stuff going on. It looks like she almost has some war paint. There's a bunch of rubbing and damage to the front where you can see across her hair, and kind of the raised portions of the obverse of the coin where details have been worn off, as well as the chest of the eagle. You can see how it's been worn off, and portions of the leaves there in the wreath around the bottom of it. So although this one is EF40, they do sell for around $100 to $130, so still a pretty quality coin, even though it's a really common 1891 O Morgan silver dollar. Proof-like coins are very, very rare, pretty much in any grade, but nearly they all have what would be considered unsatisfactory surfaces to them. But they do command a higher value, being a proof-like coin, really garnering a couple $100 more than, say, this EF40. Another thing to keep an eye out for is specimens of 1891 O coins are known with the reverse die rotated anywhere from between 50 degrees to 120 degrees in orientation. So what that means is when you look at the coin like this, you can tell this one even is slightly rotated just a hair, but some of them can be rotated almost entirely or almost close to 180 degrees. So those would command a lot of value to them, being that die rotation. Some coins were struck from clash dies and show traces of the E and base of the R in Liberty, which can be found right here as I flip the coin around a bunch. And now I notice there's a little crack on this one. But on the word Liberty on her headband, some of the coins were struck from these clash dies and show traces of the E and base of the R in Liberty below the eagle's tail on the reverse. So if you see here, Liberty, and then we look below the eagle's tail on the reverse, sometimes you'll see down here little traces of those letters due to clash dies. There were coins that were attributed as proof coins for the 1891 O Morgan silver dollar, but these aren't really accepted, although they were in a sale of the Anderson, DuPont, and Carter collections, which were done through Stack's Bowers many years ago, and they were valued at $10,000. Now, for different varieties of the 1891 O Morgan silver dollar, there's various circulation strikes to keep an eye out for. Most or all of the various obverses and reverses were used during the mintage process. Open or closed nines, repunch mint marks, as well as raised E on the reverses beneath the eagle's tail are things to keep an eye out for when you're going through 1891 Morgan silver dollars. There was 7,954,000 of these things made, so there are ones out there. Ones in higher grades, like I said, are worth a few $100s, and ones in grades like this are only worth about $100, maybe 85 to 110, somewhere in there. So let's talk about availability of them. Like I said, these are pretty available. When we're talking proof-like coins, they estimate that there's probably like 400 or 500 of them in existence total, and all of them are going to be below MS65, because as I stated in the beginning of the video, the actual mintage process resulted in these coins having low reliefs on them and just not being as aesthetically pleasing as their counterparts from other years. These were all, of course, released out of the New Orleans Mint, and mint operations during that year were kind of wonky, putting out coins at different intervals throughout the year, which they normally do, but this one experienced a bit of a delay, with most of the coins coming out at the end of July. Now, again, let's touch on values. 1891 XF40s or EF40s like this are about $85 to $110. When you jump to XF45, you can see them around $150. And then when you're getting up to stuff that's MS grades and things of that nature, ones in the highest of grades for an 1891 O Morgan silver dollar can sell in excess of $4,000 to like $6,000 if you look at heritage auctions and last sold through Stack's Bowers. Now on eBay and other auction sites like that, they go for a little bit less, but high grade ones are still selling in the $2,000 to $3,000 range. Really beautiful coin. I love Morgan silver dollars. I have a ring made out of a 1921 Morgan. They're one of my favorite coins next to the Nova Constellatio coin, which is my favorite. And they're considered some of the most beautiful coins, if not the most beautiful coin ever minted in the United States. So let me know what you think about not only this coin, but Morgan silver dollars in general. Take a look at the reverse one more time. Let me know what you think about third-party grading services, too. I've never used ICG. The coin came from already in this slab. I've used PCGS and Annex before, but let me know in the comments what you think about that and about Morgan silver dollars, and more importantly, Let me know what you've come across in your coin searches lately. I love hearing about it in the comments below. You guys are awesome for sharing all the love for the channel. Make sure to share the video and subscribe if you enjoy money and want to know the prices of your coins and banknotes. But I'll stop yabbing away. You guys have an awesome day, and I will see you in the next video.